My family no longer needs to buy strawberry jam from the store. Just looking at how many jars of homemade strawberry jam we've already finished is enough to show the quality of it. Don't you think? Hello everyone, I'm Tracy. This morning, when I was about to take out a jar of strawberry jam, I noticed it was almost gone. Looking back, I realized my family had already finished this many jars of homemade strawberry jam. Since strawberries are in season right now, today I'm going to show you how to make fragrant, gently sweet strawberry jam that the whole family is sure to love. Let's head into the kitchen together. First, you need to prepare about 1 kilogram of strawberries. You can make more if you want to prepare extra jam to enjoy over time. You should choose strawberries that are fully ripe and red, not too soft, and without any bruises or mold, to ensure the best quality. Then wash them by preparing a bowl of clean water. Adding about 100 milliliters of white vinegar. Stirring well. And soaking the strawberries for about 3 to 4 minutes. White vinegar has a pH level that is just right for effectively killing harmful bacteria and tiny mold spores on the surface of the fruit. After soaking for the proper amount of time, rinse the strawberries once again under cold running water to remove the vinegar smell, as well as any dirt and residue clinging to the fruit. Then lift them out and let them drain well. Once they have drained, cut off the green stems, being careful not to waste too much of the fruit flesh. After that, cut the strawberries into moderately sized pieces. You can cut them larger or smaller depending on your preference for making jam. Some people like thick, chunky pieces of strawberry in their jam, and that is really wonderful. However, in my home, it's a little different. My kids do not like large pieces of strawberries at all. If they see big pieces in the jam, they will carefully pick them out and set them aside. So I usually cut the strawberries a bit smaller to keep my kids happy. Of course, this part is completely up to you, and I would really love to know what you prefer. Do you like smooth jam, or do you enjoy biting into fresh pieces of fruit? Please let me know in the comments. Once the strawberries have been cut into small pieces, place them into a clean bowl. Then add about 300 grams of white sugar. This amount of sugar helps give the jam a gentle, sweet flavor. If you don't like your jam too sweet, you can absolutely reduce the sugar slightly. Next, add 1 tablespoon of honey to help create a glossy texture and balance the flavor of the jam. Stir everything well. Then cover and let it sit for about 3 to 4 hours so the sugar can fully dissolve and soak into the strawberries. If you have the time, letting it rest overnight in the refrigerator is even better. After soaking for the proper amount of time, take a look at the strawberries. You'll see that the sugar has melted into a beautiful red syrup. Now transfer the strawberries into a pot and begin the cooking process to turn them into jam. Place the pot on the stove and set the heat to medium. As the strawberries start to warm up, you'll notice they slowly release their juices. At first, the mixture may look quite thin, and that is completely normal. The sugar draws liquid out of the fruit. And as everything heats up, the strawberries begin to release more juice. While cooking, keep a close eye on the pot and stir occasionally. You want the mixture to come to a gentle boil without rushing it. The ideal temperature for making jam is around 220 degrees Fahrenheit, about 104 degrees Celsius. This temperature allows the natural sugars and fruit to thicken properly. Depending on your stove, you may need to adjust the heat slightly between medium and medium-high. Just be careful not to let the heat get too high, as the jam can burn easily. During the cooking process, let the jam gently simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes, and stir lightly from time to time so it doesn't burn on the bottom of the pot. At this stage, you'll notice the strawberries gradually softening. If there are still large pieces of strawberry that haven't softened completely, you can gently mash them with a potato masher. Be careful, as the steam rising from the pot is very hot and can cause burns if you get too close. After a while, you'll see the jam releasing steam and starting to look glossy and thicker. However, don't rush to turn off the heat yet. Test the jam by using a whisk or spatula to draw a line across the bottom of the pot. If the jam flows back together immediately, there is still too much moisture and it hasn't reached the right consistency yet. Continue cooking over medium heat until you test it again and the line fills in more slowly or does not flow back together right away. At that point, the jam has thickened and is ready. Basically, jam is simply fruit and sugar. When enough water has evaporated, these two ingredients come together to create the smooth, spoonable texture we love. So be patient and let the jam thicken properly. Once the jam has reached the desired thickness, turn off the heat and squeeze in the juice of half a lemon to balance the sweetness and enhance the natural flavor of the strawberries. Stir well and let it cool slightly. During this time, prepare a few glass jars for storing the jam. However, before using them, you need to properly sterilize the jars so the jam can be stored for a long time without spoiling. Simply open the lids and place both the jars and lids into a pot of boiling water. Then let them soak for about 15 minutes to eliminate bacteria. After that, remove the jars and let them drain. At this point, the jam should still be warm, and you should pour it into the jars while both the jam and the jars are still warm. This helps prevent bacteria from entering and creates a vacuum seal that allows the jam to keep longer. Be careful during this process, as everything will be very hot at this stage. When filling the jars with jam, remember to leave a little space at the top so the jam has room to settle. Seal the lids immediately and tighten them well. Working quickly and carefully during this step makes a big difference. After that, set the jars aside and let them cool naturally, and you'll have beautifully sealed jars of homemade strawberry jam ready to enjoy. After the jars of jam have completely cooled, take a moment to enjoy the result. When you open a jar, you'll see that the jam has set beautifully. It's thick, glossy, smooth, with a deep strawberry color and the perfect consistency when scooped with a spoon. One of the simplest and most delicious ways to enjoy this strawberry jam is to spread it over a slice of warm toasted bread. Gently spread the jam onto the toast and enjoy. The sweetness, soft texture, and fresh strawberry flavor will make your breakfast feel sweet and full of energy. You can also enjoy it with yogurt or pair it with any kind of dessert. So after today's video, do you still feel like buying strawberry jam from the store? Or would you rather try making a batch of fragrant homemade strawberry jam for yourself and your family using the recipe I shared today? If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to check out my strawberry playlist for more easy and delicious ideas using fresh strawberries. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.